Hello, everybody. It's been a little while since we've done an update. I'll let you know what I'm working on right now. Last week, I was sent 5 kits from a friend of mine who bought these kits from Pine Canyon. Um, Pine Canyon, as far as I know, isn't in business anymore. They have a website, but it's not active. They don't answer their emails or anything. I've tried to contact them, um, but they make some nice kits. I've wanted to get some for quite a while, but you can only pretty much just find them on eBay, and if you get lucky at maybe a train store that carries S scale. But they are S scale, which is 1/64 scale, which is a scale that I use. So my friend had these kits, and unfortunately for him, he's got some health issues that are keeping him from building the kits. And so he asked if I would help him out. And since he's a great guy, I usually don't work on other people's stuff. I have plenty of work to do on my own. But he's a real good guy. He's also the guy that sent me the White Castle hamburger stand kit back when I got married a couple years ago. Just out of the blue, sent it to me, and it meant a lot to me. And so, I was like, sure. Even though I'm really busy with my own stuff, I'll do them. He gave me 4 kits in exchange. He gave me 2 kits that I wanted from Pine Canyon, and then he gave me 2 Hydrocal kits that I don't know if I got a place for them yet, but I'm going to build them anyways. I've never worked with Hydrocal before, which is plaster. So it should be interesting. The kits are a little banged up, so it'll be interesting restoring them back into place. So last week I built. I should have videoed it. I did video a little bit in the beginning, but I should have videoed it a little bit more so you guys could see what I was doing. But I built him 2 gas stations using the kits, and this week I'm working on the cafes, which I was showing you the box there. But here's what they look like. This is 2 kits. I'm going to build them both at the same time. I got my trusty glass plate here. I like to build on glass because glass is nice and flat. You're guaranteed to get a nice level building out of it. Then I also have this little guy here, which is a magnetic jig that I got from... there goes the box. I got that from, was it Micromark sells that. And Micromark also sells these little clamps, these little corner clamps, which are real handy to use. So I will be using those in this build. I'm not going to do a video where I'm going to show you step by step how to build this. This is a kit. Pieces, one thing I would recommend on a kit like this is to reinforce the corners. I did that on the garage kits that I built because these are basically, there's no really, they're just flat panels. So there's no place where you can, like an indentation or whatever, where you can get it to sit to accept the glue. And also it makes kind of a weak corner when they're just kind of butted together. So what I'll do is I'll take some channel or some angle. I think it's not channel, this is angle. This is from Evergreen. And I will use that in the corners. And that will reinforce the corners, make them a little stronger. This is real nice thick walls. The walls are very thick on this kit. One thing with plastic or with resin kits, poured resin kits like this, actually there's a couple things that you got to be aware of. One is a lot of times they use mold release. So always the first thing you do whenever you buy a kit is to read the instructions thoroughly. Because some kits, they use mold release, some they don't. That you really want to kind of get an idea of what what it is and if there's any tricks or anything in it before you start building at it. Gives you kind of, just so you're aware of what's going on. So I have the instructions sitting right here. And it talked about making sure that you washed your parts with soap and water to remove any mold release, because the mold release will mess with your paint. I had that on a couple pieces on the last kits that I did. It said in the instructions that I didn't have to remove the mold release, but I think on some of the parts there might have been some left. So the paint didn't stick real well to a few of the detail parts, so I couldn't use them, unfortunately. So this stuff is all nice and clean and dry. We're going to be ready to build. Let's see what else we got in the shop here, my messy shop, because I haven't cleaned it in a while. Let's see over here, still working on, well, this is where I kind of set this up as a decaling station and detailing station for the gas stations that I've been doing. There was a lot of detail parts, a lot of stuff that required decaling, a lot of decals on the stations themselves. Decaled up this little truck with some ice stickers. Thought I needed an ice truck. I built this truck like 4 years ago. I always thought it would make a good like catering truck or an ice truck or something like that. Not my best work, but it was one of my early customs. I definitely would change how I, especially with the trim around the top, change that how I do that. What else we got here? We got the soda machines that I bought from Dave's Decals that are LED lighted. Still haven't gotten to those yet. I know I've done a lot of thought on how I was going to do them. I'm going to do them a little different than he does. Ice machines, 3D printed from Dave's Decals. You got some decals for that right there. I got some of the bicycles I'm kind of slowly working on right here. I got these from my buddy Sven, and there we go. Get a good shot of that. That's a 3D printed Schwinn bicycle. I had one like that when I was a kid. A Stingray. So that's what we got on that over there. Of course, here, this is the pile of project cars that I'll get to someday. I have a big pile over there on the other table too. And here's another kit that my friend Jim sent me. This is a motel that he already started working on. Unsuccessfully, looks like. No offense to Jim. But, so I got to kind of rebuild that. I was just playing around with it a little bit, seeing what parts it had, made sure everything was there. So this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'm gonna basically I got to kind of redo somebody else's work, which takes more time than just building it from scratch. I'm going to add a little motel office to the building, so that'll be nice. Let's see here. So let's get back over here by the table. As far as the diorama goes, well, I got a few things. Let's take a walk through the basement here. Let's take a walk out to where we're working on things out here. Get a little light on the subject there, or a lot of light. So that's kind of where I'm at right now on the diorama. I got the parking lot. This is the lot for the junkyard here. I still have to do grass in the front here. I'm going to put some lights shining up into here yet. That's something I got to do yet. So we have out here, see, we can try to get a little better angle here with the wall behind me, but so that's what we got going on here. Yeah, a little different colors of gravel because I ran out of gravel and started using a different bag, and it wasn't quite the same stuff. So, but I thought, well, man, they just redid part of their lot. The screen there, that's going to take an iPad inside of it. So I really want to get this done by the end of the year. But doing this project for my friend, I'm afraid I'm not going to get this done by the end of the year. Might get the junkyard done by the end of the year, I'm hoping. So I really want to get this section open and then start working on the bowling alley and the other sections in the back there that need to be built. The factory needs to be done. It's got a lot of work. A lot of it's always work. Always work. So basically that's where we're at right now. I'll take another video when I'm a little further along. Basically, this stuff goes together like a box. I mean, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're building a box. You got the four sides, you got the roof. This one doesn't have a bottom, so there's no bottom of the box, but basically that's what you're doing. You're building a box. Building these kits are actually fairly quick. You just have to be really careful because you have to line them up correctly, especially if you're using super glue. I find that sometimes the slower curing super glue helps a little bit if you got something that's kind of tricky, especially if you're doing a base that you need to move around a little bit to do. But, you know, like this kit, like anything else, the devil's in the details. So that's where you're going to spend most of your time, is basically prepping the parts to get them ready and painting them and detailing them afterwards. The assembly actually doesn't take long. I'll have these done probably in an hour or so, putting them together. So that's where we're at right now. Thanks for watching. Please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Like the video. Comment. I do appreciate comments. I try to answer them. Got any questions of how I do something? Even any critiques? You know, if you're a modeler and you're saying, "Hey, man, you know what you're doing there isn't quite right. There's a better way to do it." Believe me, I would love to hear it, because if I'm wrong and I'm wasting my time or wasting other people's time or giving out wrong information, I sure definitely want to be corrected on that. So we will see you next time.